The morning sun peeked through the blinds of a modest apartment in Austin, Texas, where 26-year-old Michael Brooks was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. He had been unemployed for 6 months, surviving on savings and odd gigs. His life felt stuck, like a car revving in neutral. His mind was flooded with thoughts of missed opportunities and wasted time. Every day was beginning to look the same, and every night, he promised himself that tomorrow would be different. But nothing changed. Michael had always been full of potential. In high school, he was the student everyone thought would make it big. He was intelligent, charismatic, and ambitious. But somewhere between college and adult responsibilities, he got lost in distractions. Social media, late-night parties, binge-watching TV shows. He had mastered the art of killing time, but not of using it wisely. One day, while scrolling through motivational videos on YouTube, he stumbled across a speech that hit him hard. A man on the screen said, "You want success? Then stop saying you don't have time. You have time. What you don't have is discipline. You don't need more hours in the day, you need to use the ones you've got better." That line echoed in Michael's head for days. Something clicked. That night, instead of watching another series, he grabbed an old notebook and made a decision to audit his time. For 1 full week, he tracked every single hour of his day. When the week ended, what he saw shocked him. Out of 168 hours in the week, over 60 were wasted, on social media, television, or lying around doing nothing. Only 10 were spent productively. The rest was a blur of meaningless activity. It was a harsh realization, but it was also the wake-up call he needed. The next morning, Michael made a plan. He set clear goals, small ones at first. He wanted to read 1 book a week, wake up at 6 a.m., work out every day, apply to 5 jobs per week, and limit social media to 30 minutes daily. But more than that, he promised himself to respect his time as if it were the most valuable currency he had, because it was. It wasn't easy. The first few mornings were brutal. He had been a night owl for years. His body protested, and his mind offered 1,000 excuses. "Sleep a little more," it said. "You'll do it tomorrow." But Michael fought back. Every time he wanted to quit, he reminded himself of what he was chasing. Not just a job, but purpose, control, and growth. A month passed. Then 2. Slowly but surely, things began to change. He felt sharper, more focused. He had completed 5 books, revamped his resume, learned new skills online, and even landed interviews. More importantly, he started believing in himself again. Then came an unexpected opportunity. One of the companies he applied to, a startup called MindForge, invited him for an in-person interview. They were building productivity tools and looking for someone who understood the challenges people face in managing time and habits. Michael went in with confidence and authenticity. He didn't pretend to be perfect. He shared his journey of wasting time, hitting rock bottom, and turning things around. The hiring manager, a woman named Sarah Donovan, was impressed. "You're exactly the kind of person we want," she said. "Someone who knows the cost of time and how to value it." Michael got the job. The following months were transformative. Working at MindForge exposed him to a world of successful individuals, all of whom had one thing in common: they were fiercely intentional with their time. Michael soaked up their habits like a sponge. He learned that success isn't always about talent. It's about consistency, focus, and learning how to say no to what doesn't matter. One day, Sarah asked him to give a talk at a company event about his journey. At first, he hesitated. He wasn't a public speaker. But she encouraged him, and he agreed. Standing in front of a packed room, he told his story, about the lost time, the distractions, the night he finally got honest with himself. He shared the painful truths and the small victories. And then he said something that struck everyone in the room. "Time is the one thing we all get equally. Rich or poor, young or old, we each get 24 hours a day. The question is, what are you doing with yours? Every wasted hour is an opportunity you gave away." If you want success, if you want fulfillment, you don't need to do everything. You just need to start doing the right things. And do them every single day. The room was silent. Then applause broke out. Michael had become more than just an employee. He had become an example. His story inspired many, but more importantly, it reminded him that the best use of time is to create a life you don't need to escape from. Michael's transformation wasn't just about getting a job. It was about gaining clarity, about learning that success doesn't come in an instant. It's the result of hundreds of small, disciplined choices made daily. The early mornings, the skipped distractions, the commitment to growth. Over the next year, Michael was promoted twice. He launched his own productivity podcast, started mentoring high school students, and began working on a book called Own Your 24. His days were packed, but not chaotic. He had learned to prioritize. He had built systems that worked for him. He had become the man he once hoped to be. And yet, he never forgot where he started, in that apartment, staring at the ceiling, overwhelmed by time slipping through his fingers. That memory kept him grounded. It reminded him that no one is born disciplined. It's a skill, a choice, a decision we must make over and over again. When people asked him what changed his life, he always said the same thing: I stopped wasting time pretending I had no time. To those still struggling, still stuck, he offered this advice. Start small. Wake up 1 hour earlier. Cut one distraction. Replace it with one action that brings you closer to your goal. Don't wait for motivation. Act with discipline. Momentum will follow. Don't let fear of imperfection stop you. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. But regret, that's worse. And most importantly, remember this: success doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters again and again, until it becomes who you are. Michael Brooks went from lost and idle to focused and fulfilled. Not because he had more talent or luck than others, but because he learned the truth about time. He stopped spending it, and he started investing it.